Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I wanted to say also thank you for Intrigue Summit for organizing this event as well. I'm very excited about today's topic to talk about Instagram marketing, how you can scale your account no matter what, if it's a business or personal. Before, I want to introduce myself. My name is Vasily Kichigin. I'm a Fiverr top-rated seller. If you don't know about Fiverr, this is one of the most leading freelancing platforms right now. And I have completed over 10,000 orders on Fiverr in a matter of 3 years. And I specialize mainly in the Instagram, in the social media, Instagram, and influencers as well. So here we have wanted to show the agenda for today. So I'll tell you first my story, how it's all started, how I was able to find social media, Instagram as the niche, and then why Instagram. And afterwards, I'm gonna break this into personal account and business account. So which strategies, which one of the, I would say, approaches you should do in order to have maximum growth from your account. So I started my career as a professional tennis player. At that time, I was also a student in business administration, and I was taking also computer science classes. So because all of that work, I couldn't really actually work and make money. So for me, the only way was to try and go freelancing. So I went on Fiverr and I started to research other services, what I can do, and I had some skills in graphic design. So I tried to create a service there, and after a few weeks spending and just trying to hustle and create all this profile, I failed. And then I was like, okay, don't worry, let's try something else. So I tried also video production and editing, and it was the same process, and then eventually I failed as well. So then at that time, when I was highly competitive playing tennis, my fitness coach, he was specializing, he has his own business, and he was specializing in fitness mats, in fitness elastic bands, so he was also doing his hustle. And one day he asked me, Vasily, can you help me with Instagram? You guys are young, you know how it works. And at that time, I had no idea what to do. So I started to research, I started to look at different ways how you can grow, what you need to do. And eventually, in the 3 months, I was able to get to 10,000 followers for him and really bring a lot of engagement and a lot of content to the account. We really focused a lot on, because it's a fitness niche, so our goal was to provide a lot of value first. We organized different workouts, different tips, different inspiration as well, and then eventually we had some products as well to sell. So after those 3 months, when we reached that level, we suddenly got a message from Rob Report magazine on Instagram. And I'm sure a lot of you know Rob Report. This is one of the luxuries magazines, and they published us in 2015, and in 1 month we were able to generate $50,000 in sales, and the average and basically the price of the mat was $1,500, so it's very high segment. And here you can see that was the issue in 2015, and this is the mat as well, and they published together with Technogym. So for us it was a huge grow, and this happened because of that. Instagram really brought us a lot of engagement. So why Instagram? Oh. Sorry. Sorry. Can we get a sound on this one? Sorry, guys. Maybe the computer. So now here I'm going to demonstrate to you why Instagram is the best social media platform and what features you can have with it. So let's get to the live part. And Instagram Live is a great feature, to showcase your products, services. You can really become more loyal with your audience, and it's a great way of also show business insights and business tips. So it's a really great way of really engaging with your audience. So let's get to the next one. After
after you took a picture, now you have to write a caption. So this could be facts, benefits, why it's better, compare. You can write basically the value of it. And afterwards, don't forget to include location and also tag people. And afterwards, lastly, we need to write our hashtags. Make sure they're researched because they're going to bring you to the top section. And put them as a comment to make sure it doesn't look spammy. So Instagram stories as well is a great way to document your journey, showcase your tips, value, or anything. You can do, short videos up to 15 seconds. You can do selfie, you can do anything like that. So let's just try and take a selfie. And afterwards, you share it with the audience, and that way you create like a daily blog to showcase what you're doing and providing value.
Alright, so basically you saw in that video with Instagram, especially this year, we have the live feature, we have stories, so we can really, pretty much use this platform and scale personal account or business account. And I want you to ask also a favor, and if you have an Instagram account, please open an Instagram, and if you can go to my profile, because the reason I'm doing this, I wanted to connect also practicality. So I want to show you guys, but at the same time for you to experience it in life. So if anyone has it, that will be great if you can do it. If not, you can also follow the presentation. So I wanted to start really with optimization part of the bio. So Instagram is also, when people are going to your account, let's start with a person, right? They're basically spending like 3 seconds to scroll your feed, to see who you are. And a lot of people, they miss the most important part, and that's optimization. So here, obviously, you see my username, it's Vasily17. I have the same username on my Fiverr. I have the same username on other social media platforms. So this is very important to make sure that the audience basically recognizes you on other platforms. So you need to have, the same concept in the other platforms as well. And then profile picture, my profile picture is the same as on other platforms as well. So people can really connect me, understand. Some accounts, I saw a lot of good examples, and we try to come up with something also, is you can create like a maybe weird face or something, I don't know, unusual, because when you're looking at someone's stories, when you're liking, those people, they're also looking that you liked, and if you have something different in your profile picture, they're gonna go to your profile. And then when we get to the bio part, for a personal account, you need to include the location you're currently in if you're trying to scale that account. For example, I'm currently in London, and let's say I start to interact with some people, I like their content, and then that account sees that I'm in London. So this could be a potential network opportunity for you. So that way, you can get more connections. And it worked. I tested this numerous number of times, and it really worked. And the other thing in the bio, what should include? You should include the facts. So for example, let's say you wrote a book and you became New York Times bestseller. You have to include that because this is a great credibility for you. Or this is just an example, this could be anything different. But very important to provide that credibility and fact. And lastly, is the most important, is the call to action. A lot of businesses, a lot of profiles, they miss that because they have their website, but they don't have call to action. And literally, when people go there and see the website, they're not going to click on it without any call to action. If you have call to action, that's going to really help you to, the audience will already know what they could expect. Maybe it's a video. For example, we had a video we did from other conference. Maybe it's a deal, discount, or anything. So this will be a great way to do that and showcase. And lastly, also, if you have noticed the story highlights, this is another great feature, great advantage. So for your personal account, you can really, your first story highlight should be just basically recording yourself and saying who you are. Because a lot of people are going to come to your page if you run some sort of advertisement or just interact with people. And literally, in my, for example, they look at it and I explain what I do. So I'm, speaking, marketing stuff, so they can already understand who I am. And then, for example, what we do, we also showcase our trips, other conferences. This could be your portfolio. Let's say if you're an artist, you can really create those highlights and showcase your work. And then if you go and take a look at the content, here is also another very important part. So like I said, a lot of accounts, when they look at your account, they spend like 3 seconds. It's like a resume. And if you don't have a content style on your page, then your feed will look kind of like mixed all together. But if you can develop a style, for example, what I'm doing in my page, I have one column which dedicates towards valuable information, let's say some new features or some keywords, and then in the bio, I actually shared the tips there. So it could be in the paragraphs, this could be in the sentences, but you have to really structure your content that way so your audience will also engage there. And when you create some sort of caption, for example, here I spread this into paragraphs, and you can ask questions because that way you can engage with your audience. You can share some fact. The idea when you're writing the caption is you're telling the story, and the story should consist some value, some tips, some information, and also the call to action. And the call to action, you can say, click the link in the bio to learn more or to shop or to anything else. So those are very important points. And now if you're also looking at my personal Instagram, you will see that I have a @Marbella4Life. So this account is a business account which I grew also from zero, and I use it for business purposes, and also now I want to share from business perspective what the account should have. So first of all, we also start with the name, right? So this account is a purpose to create a community around the city in Marbella. So obviously my username has to be Marbella, because every time they search in Instagram or in Google or anything, I will have more chances to appear straight away. And then the name, as you can see, you can come up with something creative. You can include flags, you can include emojis, be more kind of like friendly, and then you will have more results from it. And then when you go and look at the bio, I try to do interesting thing with the hashtag. So I created the hashtag Marbella4Life, and that way I'm trying to engage users when they're in that city to use that hashtag. And in the return, they have a chance to be featured on that page. So this is a great way for brands, for example. They can come up with certain hashtag and try to engage people to use it more. And then, for example, they can do giveaways by that hashtag, and they can do random selection and the giveaway. This is one of the ways. Because now in your bio, the hashtags, and when you add accounts, tag accounts, they're clickable. So you have like a multiple links now. And then my lastly is basically call to action. It's not a website, but then it goes back to my personal page. Also, the idea of the content for any business account, and for example my account, is to provide a lifestyle. So I'm trying to provide showcasing people, showcasing places, so they can get also some sort of experience there. And here, as you can see, example, this could be, for example, if you're selling, let's say for example a watch, right? You can have a picture, your watch in front of let's say Big Ben, right? Or maybe Empire State Building or something like this. So like this, you create that sort of lifestyle, and the audience will more likely to watch your content and your post. And another thing we're doing also is we're showcasing other influencers, bloggers in the stories. So that way we're trying to get their attention, and they see it, and we also send them a direct message. And then in return we get exchange traffic because they like it, and some of them even repost the pictures and then tag us as well. So this is just organic exchange of traffic, which could work really well for a business account as well. So here, this structure is, literally I have tested numerous accounts and personal business accounts. So we have an Instagram account basically, and then we have three parts of it. So we have optimization, basically what I explained with the bio. We also have the content structure, but then we have a growth. And the growth could be, there's basically three ways how you can grow your Instagram account. You can do with manually engaging with other people, sending them direct messages, liking their post. You can also run Instagram ads. You can run ads in the stories, and you can create different goals. Maybe the goal could be to get traffic to your Instagram, or the goal could be to get more leads to your website or to landing page. And then we have influencer marketing, where we create basically a campaign with the influencer, and we run marketing that way. But the Instagram ads and influencers is of course more risky, because we need to do a really good in-depth research before we run, because we can spend a lot of money and have no result from it. So we have to be very careful with that. And I also want to share some tools which I found useful in my business, in experience testing. So the first one is onlypoll.com. That's the tool basically creates and helps with the scheduling content, scheduling, you can schedule ahead of time, you can put the hashtags, you can tag people. So this is one of the useful tools for anyone. If you guys haven't heard it, feel free to try. Not trying to promote them, but this is honestly, I have tried so many and I'm getting so many always messages of people which tools to use, and I found very useful this one. Then for hashtags, a lot of people ask about the purpose of hashtags, why we should use them. We should use them to make sure we appear at the top section. This is the goal. We need to appear at the top section. That's why we use more researched hashtags rather than popular ones, because popular hashtags will not bring really any traffic that you want for your business. So you need to research them, and you can use this website and it's going to find you a lot of useful hashtags and you can use them straight away. Another one, it's called Storio app. And you can download, for example, let's say you have a 1-minute video and you want to share it to the story. You have to cut it, right? So it's going to take some time. If you have this app, you can put it in the app. It's going to cut you for basically by 15 seconds, and you can share it to the story, and then people can watch your story, and it's going to be like the full video, 1 minute. We did that with, I gave a speech in Lip Summit in Zagreb, and there was like 30 minutes long presentation. So I put in that app, and it cut into 15-second segments. So I have like, I don't know, so many different, but it works. So it's also very useful. And lastly, if you have noticed the link in my bio, it's basically linked.ee. So this one is good because it creates multiple links. So on Instagram you can have only one link, but this service, it allows you to have multiple. So you can literally have one link, and then when they go on it, if you can try to go on my page, you will see that I have different different links there. So this is great if you're running any promotion, but you want to still have people to your website. If you have maybe a video or something event, you can easily do that with that. Okay, so we have understanding about personal account, business account. Once again, in the personal account, you really need to, the first step is to really work on the optimization. You can, run any ads or anything, but if you don't optimize it before, you will not have the same results after optimization. So make sure, very important, to really work on that part, because it takes long. It's maybe not very exciting one, but you can make your profile look really appealing, creative, and afterwards you're going to have much, much greater results. Thank you very much.